body chasing the truth.
First, we're going to talk about Maxx Crosby's statements today. Then we're going to get into the wild card round of the playoffs, which I thought was a bad day for the NFL because none of the games were competitive. But first, let's talk about Maxx Crosby. So Maxx Crosby comes out today and he says that, if Antonio Pierce isn't retained as the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders, that he's going to ask to be traded. Okay, well, you know what? If I'm the owner of the Raiders, I would have made an example out of him, and I would have cut him on the spot and said, see you later, pal. We don't need you. I don't know what it is with these young guys in 2024 who think like they don't know how to stay in their lane and just do what they're supposed to do. Like, you're a player in the NFL. You're a defense end. You don't own the team. You don't tell the owner what to do. You don't tell the coaches what to do. You get told what to do. You get paid a king's ransom. You should be happy doing it, and you should keep your mouth shut. Just shut up. Just shut up and do your job. Like, who the hell are you to come out and demand something of your trade? You sound like a 6-year-old. And you're lucky that Al Davis isn't alive, because knowing how Al Davis was and is, he probably would have took a stand and cut you on the spot just to send a message to the rest of the team. Like, you don't tell me what to do. I tell you what to do. Maxx Crosby, he somehow beat out T.J. Watt for All-Pro, him and Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett had 0 tackles today, 0 sacks, was offsides twice. And then you have Maxx Crosby, the clown. And Maxx Crosby could not even carry T.J. Watt's jockstrap if his life depended on it. You have a guy that had like 2 good seasons, and all of a sudden now he's better than T.J. Watt. And I'm going to tell you the difference. Obviously, they're both Caucasian players, but T.J. Watt falls a little bit more on the conservative side. He's a lunch pail type guy. He doesn't need to tattoo his whole body in tattoos or wear matching plaid Gucci suits and carry a pocketbook. So to a lot of people in the NFL, meaning Commissioner Goodell and the media people, that's too boring for them. So they want to promote a guy like Maxx Crosby with all the tattoos because they know that, all the kids love tattoos. But there's one thing they won't promote about Maxx Crosby, and that's him getting sober. They don't want to talk about him getting sober whatsoever, but if he was, partying and doing stupid stuff and saying stupid things, he is saying stupid things and having tattoos all over his body, the league will promote him and make him an all-pro. But T.J. Watt, a guy that's been in the league close to, I think, 8 or 9 years at this point, who's completely, insanely dominating the league. The Pittsburgh Steelers are 1-16 when T.J. Watt doesn't play. And they screw T.J. Watt out of an all-pro, selection. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous, but that's what it is in 2024. It's not about who performs on the field and who just completely dominates offenses. It's about who can we market the best. And that's why they're going with this clown. And he is a clown, Maxx Crosby. And I really hope the Raiders do cut him. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the Houston Texans and the Cleveland Browns. So in the first wild card matchup of the day, the Houston Texans took on the Cleveland Browns. The Houston Texans dominated the Cleveland Browns from start to finish. The final score was 45-14. C.J. Stroud, the new young star, was 16 for 21, 274 yards and 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Devin Singleton, the running back, had 66 yards, 1 touchdown. He averaged 5.1 yards a carry. And Nico Collins led the receiving with 6 receptions, 96 yards, and a touchdown. And they had one huge play by Brevin Jordan. He had a 76-yard bomb from C.J. Stroud. The Cleveland Browns, they couldn't stop anything on defense. They were terrible the entire day. Myles Garrett was offsides 2 times. He had no tackles, no sacks on the day. Joe Flacco had to throw the ball 46 total times for 307 yards. He had 2 picks that went for touchdowns, and he absolutely destroyed the Browns today. This game wasn't competitive at all. I liked the Browns in this game. I really thought that they were going to end up beating the Houston Texans, and was I wrong? I'll tell you. So the second matchup of the day was the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Miami Dolphins. The Kansas City Chiefs absolutely dominated the Miami Dolphins. The final score was 26-7. The Kansas City Chiefs had 409 total yards, 262 passing, 147 rushing. They literally doubled the amount of passing yards and the rushing yards that the Dolphins had. The Dolphins had 264 total yards, 188 passing, and 75 yards rushing. Kansas City, this was their best game of the entire season. They came out ready to play regardless of the cold. Patrick Mahomes was 23 for 41, 262 yards and a touchdown. I never thought that I'd ever see a player that came into the league, and I don't want to say that he's better than Brady, but until he wins, another Super Bowl or two. But I never thought that I would see a player come into the league as fast as Patrick Mahomes and physically be better. If I had to take Mahomes or Brady, I'm taking Mahomes. And it's not that I'm a Patriots fan, and it's not that I'm a Kansas City fan, but Patrick Mahomes is incredible. Isaiah Pacheco had a good game today. He rushed the ball for 89 yards for the Chiefs and one rushing touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco, super explosive. He picks up the tough yards off tackle for a smaller back. He should definitely be the starter and get majority of the carries and the snaps. Rasheen Rice had a huge day for the Chiefs receiving, 8 receptions for 130 yards and a touchdown. The kicker, Bolker, he was 4 for 4 on field goals, so he added another 16 points. And the Chiefs did every single thing right today. They haven't played this good in a while. Travis Kelce, once again, he didn't play well, and I think all the distractions off the field are getting to him. He has not played well in pretty much the later half of this year. Since he's been dating Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce hasn't played well at all. Tua was, for the Dolphins, was 20 for. He had to throw the ball 39 times, and he only had 199 yards passing, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Tyreek Hill had an average game, 5 receptions for 62 yards and a touchdown. And listen to this stat. The Miami Dolphins were 1-12 on third down. There's literally Pop Warner teams and high school teams that could have converted more third downs than the Miami Dolphins today on the Kansas City Chiefs. With numbers like that, where you're 1 for 12 on third down, you're never going to win a football game whatsoever. So the Kansas City Chiefs move on to the next round of the playoffs, and so do the Houston Texans. I think and if you sum up today's football, it was terrible unless you're a fan of both teams that won. The games were not competitive whatsoever. Then you had the other issue with the streaming where you had to pay for Peacock to watch the Chiefs and the Dolphins, which I know a lot of people aren't happy about. I mean, I'm not happy about it. The NFL is just ridiculous. No amount of money is ever enough. And I am convinced that this was planned all along. They wanted to get Taylor Swift involved in the NFL, and they probably felt that if they had Taylor Swift involved in the NFL games, that people would be willing to pay for the NFL. So once again, Roger Goodell, he proves what a crook he is. He proves what a hypocrite he is. He claims that he cares about the fans. He doesn't care about you. We're only going to charge $5 or $6, whatever. How about just give it you're already making trillions of dollars, billions of dollars. Give it to the fans for free. In this economy, what's going on in this country, the price of gas, the price of food, and now you're making them pay to watch the one thing that a lot of people love and can't afford to pay for, and that's football. Roger Goodell, you make me sick. You're a hypocrite and you're a politician, and you're one of the biggest reasons when the league goes through stretches of times where it sucks. You are the reason, Roger Goodell.